You're listening to the Level Best Network.
This is the Intercot Insider Live, episode 117. The Intercot Insider Live is brought to you by Magical Journeys, Intercot's official travel agency and the Disney Vacation Experts, and by the Official Ticket Center for tickets to your favorite Central Florida theme parks and attractions at discounted rates. And with me tonight, who the heck is this guy? I swear I see Gary O'Brien.
It's him.
I swear.
I'm an imposter.
It's like Mr. Snuffleupagus.
It is real. Gary O'Brien. He's real. Substituting
Mr.
for
Snuffleupagus is real. I'm fake.
Oh.
I'm imaginary.
We don't have Ian, but we do have Gary tonight. So
I don't know how I feel about that comparison, but thank you.
I don't know. Somebody was complaining that Ian hasn't been on lately, so I just...
Who?
Who?
Was it Ian?
Ian who?
I am.
Ian's complaining.
Yeah, exactly. And let's just get this out of the way really quick. Gary, what are you drinking tonight?
Beer? It's an Alaskan hypothermia from Alaskan Brewery.
All right. Nice. I had a fine island lager tonight with dinner.
A lager?
Out of Charleston. A lager out of Charleston, South Carolina. Yeah.
It's a nice hot night.
Not bad. Comparable with England.
I'm drinking a delightful Kirkland brand water this evening.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Carolyn from Canada, right there. You know her.
Not too hoppy.
You love her.
Not too hoppy. It's got
It probably shouldn't be.
Yeah, that would be gross, actually.
And that was a certain Figmod.
Hello?
Jason.
Yep.
Hello. And via the Skype from a living room somewhere in New York City or thereabouts or the suburbs thereof.
Rockaway Beach, Queens, New York.
There he is.
Rockaway Beach.
You know him. You love him. You hardly recognize him in public anymore. Justin, how you doing? Young Buck.
Oh, I'm excellent. And I'm drinking a fine coconut pineapple spark energy drink.
What? Yeah. What?
Sure. That's what I always
one of those healthy, nutritious something other stuff.
Yeah.
Righty.
Actually, if Patty Stark is listening, she sells this stuff, so she knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, there you go.
That's what company makes that? It's the Advocate, right? Yeah. Okay. I know that from going to some of their basketball classics. Where they
it's pretty good. Pretty good stuff.
Decent. So, how's everybody doing? Got a little bit on tap here. I had one of the things that I wanted to talk about, which is, and I don't know where this. Let me just ask Jason first of all. Do we have any big news items we need to get to off the top of the show?
Old Port Royale opened today. Reopened. So after 30 years, the Caribbean Beach Resort reimagined their whole center of town area.
Oh, that is pretty big news then.
Yeah.
That's bigger than my news.
They rhyme banana with cabana.
They had that closed for quite some time, too, didn't they?
They did.
30 years?
Yeah, this is their 30th. Yes.
It wasn't closed for 30 years.
I know. That's what I was going to say.
I guess this also marked their 30th anniversary, but that was kind of downplayed in a lot of their refurbishment and reimagining announcements. But so they kind of tied that all together. So after 30 years, they refreshed and really changed the whole resort experience. So anyone who stayed there kind of knew there was the Customs House, which is Caribbean Beach was unique in that it was kind of one of the few resorts where like the lobby was kind of off by itself, pretty far away from where all the other rooms were. It was kind of always a little bit of a complaint, I think, among some guests. So they did change that. So the Customs House is gone. I believe it's been raised as part of the Riviera Resort construction project. And they basically moved that whole lobby and check-in desk to Old Port Royale. So that area there now has the lobby area. We just posted some pictures of that on the boards. Disney released some official photos of the grand opening today, so head out to the discussion boards to see those pictures. And then also we've been posting over the last couple weeks and days all the new dining changes that happened. So Banana Cabana, as I think Gary mentioned, was upgraded from a kind of so run-of-the-mill pool bar to a poolside lounge is now how they're now describing it. Indeed, it's kind of in the little like canopy area. And then Shutters did not come back after the refurbishment.
That was their fancier table service.
Yeah, that was their table service. They said they were just going to reimagine it. Well, they actually reimagined it into a completely different restaurant.
That's
so
reimagining.
It's kind of the new restaurant, but really the whole vibe just looks very different. So we've got some of the pictures of the new menu and some of the other items on there that opened today. The new restaurant is called Sebastian's. I think we mentioned that on a previous podcast. And it is Sebastian the crab from Little Mermaid. So
is that...
yes.
I haven't seen the menu, so it's a seafood restaurant, I'm assuming then?
Not particularly. It was a little less of that cuisine of like pure seafood and more just like the Caribbean island cuisine.
Oh, okay.
So there's some other dishes in there. And then the Centertown Market, which was their counter service area there, that's been reimagined also, and it looks quite different. I don't think the separate windows are there anymore. At least if it is, they're not really showing it in some of the pictures that have been released. But so they redid the counter service area as well. So all three of those dining areas plus the shops did remain, although a bit reconfigured. So really all your shopping, dining, and lobby needs are all now in one central location, walkable at Caribbean Beach. Because before you had to cross like several roads to get to the customs house. So that is more centrally located now. And I guess there was a little bit of a 30th anniversary celebration done today, and this was kind of the way to cap that off, was the opening of that area.
Okay.
Well, I can tell you that. Go ahead.
Let's say the lobby looks really nice for a mod. You know.
Yeah, I always found it weird that they had the lobby, like the front desk was in a completely different building than everything else. So now it's all together. Am I understanding?
Well, I think maybe there was some of the thought having the hustle and bustle of check-in kind of separate from that, but it seemed like the concept didn't catch on.
Because I think that was the first moderate resort they built.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's still in a separate building since it's still all the different villages, which I think they renamed a couple of the villages as well. I didn't see anything official on that, but I think the, what were the two that were north and south?
Oh.
Where the pirate rooms are in one of them.
It's way out at the side. Is it like Trinidad or something?
Yeah, if they were like north and south.
Yeah.
Trinidad, one of them's Barbados now, I think, and the other one's just Trinidad. So there's no north and south anymore. That was part of the overall reimagining of the resort. So still separated, but in a generally walkable location, unless you're now, I think, out in Barbados. I think that might be what's North Trinidad. So it's still very spread out.
The building is huge.
Yeah. So I guess that's a good point. Thank you, disembodied Justin. Was that they added on a lot to the old Port Royale. So it's not just the old building gutted and reconfigured. They added on quite a bit to that building and to that area around there.
It looks
actually having
ghost house.
having driven around the property in the last few days, I can tell you things look a lot different all around the place than they have probably 12 months ago or so. Those skyscrapers are arising, both at Caribbean Beach, and the other one is at
Coronado.
Coronado, yeah. I mean, very visible, both of them. Hard hard to miss them. But
Speaking
totally
of,
going to change.
tall buildings, the Guardians of the Galaxy building is, wow, it's getting big too. I think Cindy posted.
Yeah, that thing is almost in the parking. It is in the parking lot. As soon as I pulled in the parking lot, I was like, "What is that big structure?" I was like, "Oh, that's got to be the Guardians of the Galaxy building."
Yeah, it's a big one, big warehouse looking thing. And you can see it from World Showcase too. You can see it back there. So I don't know if they're going to try and paint it that go away green color or whatever. But
it'll be blue, sky blue, right, with some clouds on it.
Cartoon clouds.
Didn't work for Soren, so
yeah.
No. Well, haven't we learned how to cloak things yet? I mean, can't we deploy some
mirrors?
I don't know. You know, in the late 90s, they did a pretty good job with Tower of Terror. That thing blends in really well.
But they, no,
it's very visible in the Maraca skyline if you ever look at Epcot, but they actually made it so it visually blends in.
The colors,
you really have to look for it. Yeah.
I did not notice that. I now have something to look for next time I go.
Yeah, because they knew it was going to be visible, so they made the colors be so that when you're standing in Morocco and you look at it, it doesn't look out of place.
And still match kind of a California stucco color scheme. So
I've been going to the park since '74, and there's stuff I learn every day. I did not know that. I did not know that.
Yeah, but it's like the gondolas are going to have mirrors on the outside. Maybe they need to mirror the building, and it will blend in. Be a big blinding. The light. The
more I've seen where those are going to be, and I don't know how that's going to look. I just keep questioning that decision. Yeah. What do you think, Gary? No air conditioning in a gondola in 100-degree...
a mirrored gondola in sunny Florida in the middle of August? That's going to be awesome.
Doesn't that sound like a lot of fun?
They said the windows would open a crack.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
So you could add more humidity.
That works so well for dogs.
Can't wait till a bee flies in there or something.
The whole thing swinging as everybody's
really tests dynamic when there's a bee in a small area.
There are no insects in Florida. Come on.
Or some of those giant mosquitoes.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's going to be a mosquito sitting in the seat across from me having a conversation. How's your day going?
What's up? Good to see you.
I'm just looking at our big list of things here. I think this is a big story. The price increases for Walt Disney World snacks. Maybe I'm just hungry right now.
Well, the snacks, or what about have we talked since they decided to go to the every day is a different price option? I can't remember us talking about that.
I looked back at that. It was either that or it came out the day after we recorded.
Well, we can talk about that too.
No, I was just wondering about. I know we had talked in the past about the possibility of it coming. I didn't know whether we had actually addressed it, and I swear it was like the day after we recorded.
Yeah, maybe it was.
They released the seasonal pricing and the new portal that's supposed to come online, and of course this is providing everyday value and whatever the spin is on it. But it just seems like it's gotten way confusing. And, like I even talked to Patrick at the Official Ticket Center, one of our sponsors of the EaterCot Insider podcast. And, he said that, hold on. Sorry.
There you go.
And he had mentioned, they were getting kind of trained on how to do it and what was going on. And I guess the software has to get loaded so you can figure out. I mean, it just seems, good Lord. How much more complicated can things get?
Yeah, we thought it was complicated then. Now it's so basically you have to, if you haven't heard this, so if you are planning a trip for your spring break, say March 10th to 15th. You have to buy tickets specifically for March 10th to 15th. You can't just be like, well, I think we're going to go maybe sometime in March. I'll just buy these tickets today and we'll just use them when we get down there because they don't expire until 14 days after its first use. No, if you buy your tickets for your trip March 10th to 15th and then you end up not going that week or whatever, those tickets are dead. And it depends on what time of year you go. Like if you're going 2 of the 3, like you I think, don't you also even have to pick, like, we're going to go on Monday to the Magic Kingdom and Wednesday, not the Tuesday.
If you don't get Park Hopper, I think so, yes.
Yeah.
It seemed like there was some flexibility. So there's a lot of different levels, too, just to add to the complexity. So I think there is somewhere in the mix still like the old ticket option, but it's extremely expensive now.
Yes, I was going to ask
still some restrictions on it.
What the cost benefit is beyond buying
to Disney or
day of? No, to me. So I mean, if you know,
I don't even know if
buying ahead of time versus buying at the gate. I mean,
yeah, that's kind of a good point. I'm not even sure how like day of tickets would work.
I don't know.
I mean, don't be surprised if they have it. You can't buy tickets at the gate anymore.
But I mean, okay, on a practical
I think
level,
we may get to something like that, though.
If I plan that I'm going to be there for that week, and then I see like, oh, geez, you know what? Tuesday's going to be rainy. We don't want to go to the park on that day. Right? Yeah, I think we'll just stay on that day. Sorry,
you have to go.
Yeah, then
and you're gonna like it.
Yeah, exactly. I can kind of see it from both sides.
Stuck with them.
I can see it from both sides that like maybe the part like Disney wants to do it that way so that they can have more of a hard number of like, this is how many people will be at the park on Tuesday. You know, if they know that they've only sold right?
Yeah, I mean, they're what they're trying to do ultimately is, you know, adjust the flow of the parks and to push people, you know, out of going during the most expensive time and to going during the least expensive time, which supposedly in theory would even out the crowds more. But in the end, it's really probably mostly about money.
Gotta imagine.
You know, we know we can charge more during the busy time, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Let's be honest. I mean,
yeah, you gotta imagine initially there won't be a lot of effect because people won't understand the payoff for going during a non-busy time of year.
Well, and some people can't. I mean, teachers and things can't go in April. They have to go in the summer or whatever. Some people are stuck with the times they can go regardless. But
so the new portal to basically make this a little bit easier, I guess it should be active now, I think, right? What day do they go into effect? Is it the 16th?
I think they said, it was supposed to go into effect.
So the portal, so when you go to buy your tickets now, you'll now see a calendar. So you will see the different price, like how you would look at park hours, I guess now is the best way to describe it. And maybe you used to plan out your days going to which park, to which days or which time of year, maybe based on how long parks are open. You'll now have to do the same thing with price tickets. So you'll now see different ticket prices for different days during different months. Now, I think it's not quite as bad, I don't think, as you must go on March 12th. I think it's like March 12th, you know, plus 10 days or something like that. So there is some latitude. Okay. But it is not much. I want to say I somewhere read 10 days or something, but I was trying to pull it up, but the official Disney announcement doesn't have a lot of the details in it.
No, I'm having trouble finding stuff on it too. Yeah, shocker.
Well, I mean, if you buy it as part of a package, if you change your dates, I'm assuming that your ticket dates are changed.
Yeah, so you probably would have to pay a difference or get a refund discount.
Speaking of tickets, I don't know if you guys know this, but right now, Canadian residents, I don't know how they're going to do this if they've already got this new system in place, but Canadian residents, every now and then they have ticket deals for us Canucks up here. And this
is there a deal running, Carolyn?
There is a deal running. It has been on.
Hold on. This just in.
Okay,
Yes.
so this has been up for since before they announced these new weird ticket pricing things for everybody else. But since August 29th, this has been up. But Canadian residents have a blast at all 4 Walt Disney World parks with this special ticket offer. Right now, you can get an adult 4-day base theme park ticket for as low as $316 US plus tax. Usually it's, I don't know, like for a 4-day base ticket, $3.99 or something. It's in there anyway. So we do get a little bit of a discount on that. Upgrades to a park hopper option are available. You can buy these tickets until March 15th, 2019. So there's still lots of time for Canadians to buy tickets on essentially the old way. You have to use these tickets, though, by September 27th of next year. And there are a couple blockout dates. You can't use them around the Christmas holidays and things like that. But so there's still a little bit of a deal for Canadians until March 15th anyway. So get in on that while you can. Maybe stock up now. You got to use them by next September. But anyway, that's one thing that is well, supplies last. They do that periodically for us. And I mean, when they used to do that, we used to stock up on tickets because they were good for whenever. You just had to use them within 14 days of their first use. So, the days of stocking up on those are going to be going away.
So I found more details.
All right.
On the new tickets.
Oh, really?
Yes. So essentially,
it's just in.
Yes.
So it's a system that will reward you for the longer day ticket you buy. So if you buy a 1-day ticket now, going forward, some of this is a little bit unofficial since Disney hasn't fully released it yet. But it's being reported that a 1-day ticket must be used on the date it was selected. A 2-day ticket, so if you buy a 1-day ticket, it's only good for that date.
So I can't buy a ticket today, but I'm going to use it next Thursday. I got to use it today.
No, if you buy it for next Thursday, you have to use it on Thursday. Okay. So you're picking dates off a calendar now. It's going to be a calendar-based interface. So you have to use it for the date you pick. If you buy a 2-day ticket, you have a 4-day window from the first date you picked. So you're still picking a date, but it goes out 2 days, and then you have 4 days from that first day to use it. Don't worry, it gets more
confusing. Thank God I have an annual pass.
Oh my God.
So then it's kind of scales.
Can't even comprehend this.
It scales from there, not proportionally, because with 3 days, you have 5 days from the first date you picked. 4-day ticket is 7 days, 5 is 8, 6 is 9, and so on and so forth. That goes all the way up to a 10-day park ticket, which I think is still the longest they sell. And that you have 14 days. That's where you kind of get back to the original. But unlike before, where it was the first day you used it, as Carolyn has mentioned, it's 14 days after the first date you picked off the calendar.
This is exactly what I want for my vacation, is algebra.
So
this is calculus, man. This isn't algebra.
There will be matrix-based pricing for other water park add-ons.
You're in the matrix.
Wait, do they own the rights to do that? I don't.
No, that's a math joke. If you know what matrices are in math. Okay. But anyways. Right. So if you want to, there will be a still undisclosed add-on for flexible dates to everything we just discussed.
Okay, so now if I have like the 2-day ticket and I have to use that within 4 or 5 days, you said?
I think it's 4 days, yeah.
Okay, so then what if I get to the end of the 4 days and I'm like, oh, it's still raining. Can you add on like an extra day? You saying that there's an add-on feature that I can give myself?
There's an add-on for additional flexibility. It doesn't say how much it will be or how much flexibility, but yes, there does appear to be that. But you may need to purchase it at the time of purchase. So, yeah, they do sell ponchos, so I don't see what your problem is.
No, you know what? This is the problem that always happens.
Model.
Is we are like, well, we want to go to a water park one of the days. So then we look at, when we get down there, we look at
but if it's raining, why do you want to go to a water park?
No. Then we look at the thing and we're like, well, Wednesday seems to be like the hottest day. Oh, but that was the day we were going to go to Hollywood Studios. Well, so we're not going to go to Hollywood Studios Wednesday now. We're going to go to the water park because that's going to have the best day of the week there. And then, we always end up like shifting around where we're going on every day. Oh, man. All right.
I don't want to buy anything.
My Disney experience cannot be changed.
It's so complicated.
Don't even try.
I kind of feel bad for Nancy and the ladies at Your Magical Journeys. I feel like this is putting more burden on them. I'd be like, how many times have I been to Disney? 1.5 million times since the 70s, and I feel like I'm just going to call them to do all this.
Any random cast member in the call center too. I mean, this is.
Oh my god!
It sounds complicated.
Try and explain that to anybody.
I feel like when people see the calendar, that'll initially make sense, but it's going to be that whole like, you have 5 days, no, you have 6 days, no, you have 7 days. I think that's going to be the part that's going to confuse people more.
But for me, we're all people who have been there multiple times and have all sorts of strategies. If you're just some family that's trying to do your one and only trip, and you're trying to figure out, you're trying to navigate the system. I mean, to me, this reminds me of calling an IVR on a phone. Press 1 for this, press 2 for this, and you're just like, person,
operator,
human, anybody, because it's just. I don't know if it's a good or bad system because I haven't used it yet.
And that raises questions
available right now.
Since you're now kind of locked into dates, they've got to be real crisp on that too. I mean, if someone picks the wrong date accidentally, what do you do then? I mean, airlines, you have a 24-hour period. They don't really advertise, but then you can change all airline tickets within 24 hours.
Plus your $75 fee and
$200 change fee.
But
They just take you out back and flog you.
Yeah. You make the wrong.
You made a mistake. You must pay.
Well, I will say their system also better be working because I got on to do actually the Fast Pass Plus for my parents because they were in Europe and they're going in the end of November, and the system kept crashing.
Justin laughing.
My Disney experience. Oh, did I have an experience with that?
I'm okay if they're going to make us plan 180 days in advance, but make your reservation system work.
Yeah.
If it worked 5% of the time I was there, I'd be amazed.
5.
It kept freezing and crashing. Freezing, crashing. Actually, I just saw today in the App Store there's a new version that they says fixes all bugs and
every one of them.
Fixes the performance of the app. So I can't wait to see how bad that is.
Every last one of the bugs has been squashed.
Have to tell you, and this is a little bit of a segue here, but we are going. Yeah,
segue queen.
We're going to the Wine and Dine Run Icot next month in November. So we've been getting ready for that, and I was checking my Disney experience on my phone, and it's all convoluted because I'm tied to Justin, I'm tied to Ian, I'm tied to Jason, and I can see all of their hotel reservations, but I couldn't see any of my fast passes that I had done. And I was like, well, what's going on with this app? I can't see any of my stuff. I know. Maybe it's just the app. I'll go on to the computer, an actual desktop computer, and go to the My Disney Experience on there, and maybe it'll be clearer because it's a bigger screen or something. And I went on there, and it was like my hotel reservation was gone. I could see some days of my fast passes. No, I couldn't see any dining. I couldn't see any of the notes that I had put on there. It's just nothing lines up. And all I wanted to do was I wanted to do a screenshot of what are my fast passes so that I have those, because I'm seeing what Jason's fast passes are and what Ian's fast passes, and you can't turn off theirs. There's no filter to be I
can see yours. Everything. I'll just tell you what yours are.
Well, I can't. Like, there's no
we'll
way
tell
of
you what
cutting
it's supposed to be.
off.
Don't worry about it.
I want to turn off. I don't want to see Ian's. I don't want to see Jason's. I don't want to see Justin's. Just show me mine. There's no filter or anything. So, honest to God, the only way I could do this.
Carolyn, I'll tell you where you go. You tell me where I have to go. Jason, you tell Ian, and Ian will tell Jason. And then we'll all be good.
Literally, the only way I could do it was bring it up on my computer. I could see just my fast passes on the desktop thing. And then I took my phone and went like, click, to take a photograph of my desktop computer. In today's day and age, people. And now when I go to Disney next month, I'm going to have to like scroll way back through my pictures.
Today's day.
I mean, come on, kids.
I mean, from user experience,
technology at its finest.
Well, the app is supposed to tell you what your next fast pass is.
But like I want to know, hey, what did I sign up for?
What an overview.
What are all three?
What you planned them 180 days ago? Don't you remember?
Yeah. Exactly. I
don't remember what.
No, this is only 90 days. Get it?
This is
60 days.
6 days. You're right. No.
180 for dining.
Always punish the customer.
I'm looking into the future, Justin.
So
the future Justin? Who is that guy?
Yeah.
So with that said, our segue can go in one of two ways. You can talk about the pricing increases on food, or we can talk about Run ICOT.
Or we could talk about my trip, which ties into what we were just
well, there you go. Let's do that.
Completely different.
We'll plow
because we did
now for something completely different.
We did sort of tease that in the.
Wait, we're not going to talk about the amortized cost of a churro over the past 10 years?
I need to
do you
know
have
what
the figures ready. We could go in that direction.
I need to know in $1955.
Well, there is now a price increase on the churros, so that would be kind of apropos.
Oh,
Gary, look.
I was looking at
I heard the cherry churro is very expensive.
Because it can't be found.
Because it doesn't exist.
Priceless.
Hashtag exists.
Hashtag John's hallucinations.
I am not hallucinating. It was there, I swear. Disneyland. Right around the time it was right before California Adventure opened. It was
we did a churro challenge and we did not find cherry churros. I'm sorry.
They've had strawberry churros.
Mm-hmm. That's not cherry.
I know, but my point being, it's possible.
They have sour apple right now.
But cherry churro would be the name of a great song. So,
or a band.
Yeah.
Either or.
The cherry
would work either
or both.
So tell us about your adult trip.
So here we're talking about we're 34 minutes into the podcast now, and we're talking about the craziness of planning and how things are nutty and how the app doesn't work and all this sort of stuff. So I'm going to compare and contrast that with my recent 4-day, 3-night trip to Saratoga Springs as a DVC member. So my wife and I, just to give you a little hint, we are probably at almost the lowest rung of DVC membership you could possibly have. So
I think we're at the same level.
Really? So if you're familiar with points, we own 60.
Oh, okay. No, we have 100.
0. No, we are. So we bought resale. So typically what Justin's talking about, you have to buy 100, I think, was the minimum that they had set.
No, I could have bought less, but that's what they had available.
Direct?
Yeah, I bought from Disney Direct.
Okay. All right. So I thought that there was maybe they've lowered it since then. But anyway, we bought 60 points about 4 or 5 years ago, and originally used them to go to Hilton Head. That's our home resort, which then caused us to actually end up living here in Hilton Head. By going there, we fell in love with the place. But so now we're here. Doesn't quite make as much sense to go across the island there. So we were like, all right, we got to use some points. So we decided we're going to go to Saratoga Springs. First of all, had a really tough time finding 4 days together in a studio.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Very difficult. So finally we were by shifting our dates, and luckily both of us have some flexibility in our schedule. We went down there on a now I'm losing track of which days it was, but Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I think. Yeah, that's it.
Cheapest point nights also.
Yeah. So went down there, I checked in Saratoga Springs. Pleasantly surprised, first of all, we got upgraded. So we had a preferred studio, got bumped to a 1-bedroom preferred studio, and they asked us where we wanted it to be. Apparently they had a few. And so we ended up near Disney Springs. I almost said downtown Disney, and I did that like 8 times during the trip. But I've stayed at the resort a long time ago. Gary, I think you were with me
that was the
last time.
Lowest bus ride in the history of bus rides.
Yes. So those of you familiar with the podcast may remember the story about the slowest bus ride ever. Cue the boom, boom, and
Ian
Rooney walking next to the bus, going faster probably than the bus itself, or Office Space if you've seen where they're stuck in traffic and the guy in the walker is going faster than traffic. It happened on the bus, slowest bus ride ever. But didn't really get a feel for the resort when we stayed there for whatever reason. I think it was an ICOT thing, and we were kind of buzzing around doing our thing. But this time, we stayed, and we were in one of the, I think 2 buildings or one building away from the last building where you can walk over and basically go over a bridge and go to the.
Do you remember what section it was?
Congress Park.
Oh, okay.
So just in case you're wondering about that and you want to book in that area. But I'm going to tell you, the resort actually checked in. I didn't remember much about there, and I liked it, like the check-in experience. The rooms, while a little bit dated, they're getting to the point where they need probably to have the new carpeting pulled out and the hardwood type or solid surface floors put in and things like that. Rooms were still nice, very spacious. For what it was, for a 1-bedroom, we were more than happy. And the convenience to Disney Springs was fantastic. So just so you guys understand, the reason why I was saying this compares and contrasts with what we've been talking about is that because of the kind of tickets we had 1 day, 1 park tickets, and we only got them the day that we were arriving. So as you can imagine, had 0 fast passes planned at all, 0 reservations planned. Essentially nothing was planned. So I get my tickets, I go on, we decide we're going to go to Epcot, right? I find 3 fast passes. They weren't the greatest, honestly.
Nemo, Figment, and Spaceship Earth.
Let me see. Nemo, Spaceship Earth. Yeah, those were 2 of them. And we also did something that I never do, and I got a fast pass for Illuminations.
Oh, okay.
To be in the center viewing area, which is still one of the best places if you're going to watch Illuminations. So arrived at the park at 3:00, my wife and I. Wait times at every attraction across the park were under 30 minutes. And in most cases were 20 minutes. Even Frozen was at, I think, maybe 30. That was the longest line in the park.
I think you were there a week after me.
On a Sunday. Yeah.
The week we were there, lines, not crazy, but Frozen was minimum 50, 55 minutes the whole time we were there.
Okay.
So I don't know. I guess you just caught it good.
I don't know what happened. I understand also my wife hates crowds and has kind of developed a hate of Disney as well because of that, because of the way we can't, sort of avoid the crowds. And we were walking on the rides and we were going up and just taking it all in. And it was like, wow, we went on Soarin', 20-minute wait for Soarin'.
Wow.
Walked across, walked right onto the land, did Spaceship Earth, did Nemo. During this time, I made a reservation at Coral Reef. ate at the Coral Reef, and then watched fireworks show at to close out the night and walked out. So we spent, I don't know, maybe 4 hours in the park. And let me tell you, it was heaven.
Sounds
it was like perfect.
Now,
that's what it was like in the 90s if you would go at certain times of the year.
I know. It was like a throwback.
They have been saying
Go ahead,
that the
Karen.
park times are way down right now. Like even Toy Story Land has very little lineups anymore, and that's like the new thing, and it's not all that busy. So,
yeah. I don't know. Stephanie is mentioning it's been crazy busy this weekend with Frozen at 60 Minutes yesterday. Yep. So
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, isn't it?
I don't.
This weekend's a holiday weekend for some people.
Well, that's true.
It's Canadian Thanksgiving right now. You guys have Columbus Day. Yeah.
Well,
so maybe that's why it's
Columbus Day, right?
So let me just say, like, the nice thing about my wife and I going to the park, again, we were completely satisfied just going 4 or 5 hours. And that was good. We left. You know, we didn't rush or run to go to anything. It was just kind of, we were in chill mode and we went out. So Epcot, perfect first day. Went to Animal Kingdom the second day. And the plan, honestly, we went on an early entry day for resort folks, was to do Avatar because my wife had not done it. Maybe ride a few more rides, catch a show, and get out of the park by 1 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Go back, enjoy the resort. That was going to be it for the day. So we went in, did that, did the Avatar, longest wait of the day, longest wait of the trip, quite frankly, was about 50 minutes, even at the early entry. Although we weren't as early as we could have been, probably arriving. But then went on from there. Guys, I got to say, I love the Nemo show. I'm a sap. It was the moment of the vacation. We had a couple sitting next to us with a tiny girl, probably, I don't know, like 5, maybe 4 or 5, something, 6 at the most. I don't know. I'm not good at
That's
judging.
the perfect age for that show.
But perfect age for that show. We were sitting in the 4th row, I think. We were like, we're going to sit way up front. It'll be great. You know, and you get to see all the costumes and things up close. Although you don't get to see if you're on the left side, you don't get to see the right side of the stage too well. If you're too close. Just a little hint. But anyway, so at one point, I mean, spoiler alert, you know, at one point it looks like Nemo gets shaken to death in the bag, right? And when they're in the what is it called? The aquarium, right?
Yes.
And the dentist office.
Darla, is her name Darla?
Yeah, Darla.
Sure, let's go with that.
Like shakes it and it looks like Nemo's dead, right? No joke. The girl next to it, who is totally into the show, she screams out, "No, Nemo!"
Shut up, kid.
No!
You're ruining the show.
And I looked over at her face, and it was sheer terror in her eyes, and I started crying. I was like, laughing so hard, but I was crying at the same time. It was the best moment. And then she came back in, and then I was very happy. Nemo came back to life. Everything was wonderful. But, you know, there's like, once again, refocus that magic. You know, again, we talk about pricing and all that kind of stuff, but then just for a moment, you see the magic of Disney and the way it just totally connected. She was in the show. She was a part of it. She believed it was happening all over again, even though she had probably watched Nemo how many times on the TV.
That's a movie. This is real life, man.
I know. Well, you know what?
That's a real fish right there.
You are. I mean, you're totally right on with that. I think that because they were human characters right in front of you, there was the connection, whether fish or whatever. You know,
fish are our friends.
Totally it. So, but just basically for the rest of the day, again, lines 30. We caught the the Doug show, which was cute. Doug, No, you didn't like it?
It's pronounced
cute, but they really need to rework it. The script was a little.
It was hokey.
I think they did rework it. I think you both saw the reworked show.
Yeah, the script was always really
they need
hokey.
to rework the rework.
It's hokey. It's hokey, but you know what? I mean, it's still cool, the bird stuff that they do. And you know, I can't remember the last time I stopped to actually see this show. So as an adult, I can tell you, we were more into like seeing some shows and stuff too. It wasn't all about riding rides and getting on the coaster and seeing if the Yeti's up or down. By the way, he's still down.
It's still down.
Sorry. Gary.
No, I find that's the way that when I go on trips with you guys, like just other people that have gone a bunch of times, I sat there making those Fast Pass choices, being like, wait a minute, I don't have to pick Space Mountain, Thunder Mountain, Splash Mountain as my choices. No. I can pick that.
The last time I was there, Ian and I had zero plans. We had to marry the Canadians for an evening for dinner, but but it was, you know, we had no plans whatsoever, and it literally was we would wake up that morning and just like, you know, wherever we were meeting everybody, we would try and figure something out, and if it didn't work out, we'd been there enough that we still found a way to have fun.
Yeah.
You know,
right?
And sometimes that was just sitting around and
people watching.
Yeah, just hanging out in a place we enjoy.
Animal Kingdom's a great bar.
Yeah. So, you know, basically my point being, I mean, the rest of the day, you know, we did our Fast Passes again. We got I don't even remember what they were, but we did not get on the safari, which we wanted to get on just because the line was too long for that by the time we decided to do it. But
so you Triceratops spin, Primeval World, and Not to Be a Bug.
No, we did. We definitely did dinosaur. Dinosaur. We did.
Yes, John's Fast Passes.
Yeah, I know. What else did we do? Gosh.
Everest?
I'm trying to remember.
No?
Oh, Nemo. I think we had the Fast Pass for Nemo. Obviously, you didn't really need that. And yeah, Everest was the other one. That was it. Those were the three. And my wife didn't go on Everest. Not really into roller coasters. So, but again, by 1:00 with some shopping, we did like some casual shopping, looking around, seeing what was new. She found a few things she liked in one of the stores, and we were out the door by 2:00. And you know, just went back to the resort, chilled, and then that night went out to dinner in Orlando or outside of Orlando at a restaurant, probably about 10, 15 minutes from property with some friends. And it was a perfect day.
But that's what you're supposed to do on vacation. I mean,
but it was relaxing though. And like,
you're there to relax. And usually Disney's not a relaxing vacation. So it's good that you got to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
when we stayed at Saratoga, we were in the grandstand area, and they have a cute little pool over there. We went over there, I think, twice on our trip just to chill and just relax, and it was really, really nice to just not run to the parks and worry about. I mean, we had Fast Passes and reservations and everything, but we still were very chill on this trip.
Oh, you know what? I mixed up my night. So that night we didn't go to downtown. That was the next day, but we went to we just walked over to downtown Disney, checked out downtown
Disney Springs.
See, I did it. I knew I did it.
It'd be a really long walk to downtown Disney from.
Yeah, it's in
California.
Enjoyed walking through that area, and my wife had not seen it. And quite frankly, I don't think I walked end to end. Did a lot of, again, shopping, just browsing, kind of goofing around, got a Starbucks, you know, that kind of thing. And had dinner reservations at the Edison. So did have dinner there. And the Pork-stravaganza.
Oh, man.
Which is 3 different kinds of pork and a burger and bacon and some other pork.
I mean, I'm planning a trip for that. So,
right. The Pork-stravaganza. It was not bad.
This also wasn't what was it actually called, so people can find it.
Isn't it?
It was something along that lines, wasn't it? I thought I posted it.
I'll find it.
Isn't there a restaurant there called the Polite Pig or something?
Yes.
Well, there is too. That's there as well. But
that's not.
But
no.
This was it was at It was at the Edison. It was called the Pork Trifecta Burger. It was the perfect combination of juicy ground pork burger topped with sliced barbecue pork loin and crispy bacon, garnished with caramelized apples and served on a pretzel roll with a side of fries. All yours.
Oh my God.
And an eat when you're done.
Delicious.
For the low price of $24. So
That's a
that
And
was
I think
good.
I would have about 2 bites and be done.
Yep. By the yeah, it's huge. But and then I think the most outrageous thing there was the fact that I think we paid $14 a glass for wine, which I thought was, they originally came along and offered us a bottle for like $37, and I looked somewhere and I must have looked at the wrong thing, thinking, oh, well, it's only like $8 or $7 a glass, and times 4 is 20. That's about the same price. It's like blah blah blah. And I was doing my math in my head, and well, I did the math wrong. It was like 14 a glass,
Noob.
which meant we should have gotten the bottle. So you may just a hint there. If you're going to have more than a glass of wine, you may want to get the bottle. But the atmosphere was really cool there. From what I heard, though, it changes at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night and becomes a little more of a show atmosphere. A little tip, though, by the way, from Stephanie, and this is something that we did, is basically on Facebook. She says to pick your fast passes, then modify. And Disney likes to release fast passes throughout the day as the forecast change. So that actually was something that we did notice, that sometimes things, even though we picked them, then we were able to go back in and change them out for other stuff. And I was good about. Go ahead.
I see that was Justin who showed me that actually at ICOT 20.
Yeah. And
Yeah, you just pick something, and then once you have something, then you can just modify it. And I mean,
On the
we've actually
day
had
of?
days that we would,
yeah.
oh yeah, we do 3
Yes, you
fast
keep
passes
doing it.
early in the morning, and then you just keep picking things. And once you grab something, you can just modify it to something else. Once you have something, it's easier to grab something else than to
Right.
get like the big thing right off the bat.
I will
It's
agree
easier.
with that. It seemed there was some logic to that, where once I picked stuff, like there were some options that I didn't seem to get before, and I don't know again how the server on the back end works for all this stuff, but like, you know, I was looking for, let's say, one of the mountains. Maybe it was Thunder Mountain, because the third day we went to the Magic Kingdom. And I was figuring that was going to be wait time central, but like something wasn't available early on, and I picked something, and then suddenly, all of a sudden, it was available. And you know, again, I realized things come back into the system, and we actually had to dump fast passes at one point, and I told my wife I'm going to dump them back in the system so that we don't get penalized or whatever. So we don't, you know, once we use up our passes and all that kind of stuff, there's some sort of logic that goes along with that as well. But bottom line is, yeah, it's Justin. I think there was something along that lines that it seemed to work that way.
Yeah, I do that all the time, and it just, you know, even with moving times around, like if you grab something for later, you just keep going on there. And actually, I'm not going to give away my tips and tricks, so
Everyone will know.
nobody will know my tricks and treats.
They'll be
I mean, that
available
doesn't
in a book
work.
from
Don't do
Justin, $29.95, available from Intercat Press.
I just
That is
realized
funny. I tried to do that when we were in Disneyland with the Max Pass thing.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work,
Yeah.
we're all
No, it
just
doesn't
out
work.
there.
we're
It
all
does
just
not work
random.
that way.
But let me tell you, Max Pass, if anyone is going to Disneyland, Max Pass, well worth the money.
Yep.
Okay.
I think we've covered that
Absolutely.
before. But and one
Yeah.
thing I found out, though, is your photographs, when you get Max Pass, your photos are included in it.
Yeah.
But you only have 45 days to download your photos, which I
No, they
didn't know.
warn you about that, though, don't they?
So, what's that?
Yeah,
Don't they warn you about that?
You
They let
get
you
an
know.
email, I think, when it's close.
If they did, I didn't see it, and I lost a lot. Well, not all. I lost a lot of pictures from a trip back in May. But
Oh no.
no. So just to wrap up so after doing that, then I think we came back, hit the pool late at night, which again, you know, was something that we wouldn't typically have done. We were trying to go to the hot tub, but it was crowded, and we didn't want to be one of those people in the overcrowded. Yeah, no.
Excuse me.
So we stayed in the pool. We kept hoping somebody would leave, but it was like, Yeah. So,
Can I get on your
Move
boat?
over. We're all
Yeah.
going to squish here together in this hot bath water together.
yeah. No, it's a little, it's okay when like maybe,
Relaxing.
yeah, it just didn't seem.
Please shower before entering. Right.
Right. Yeah. It was not. So we skipped that, but just went in the
It's
pool instead. But
Probably chlorinated.
Nobody knows.
Bubbles clean everything.
Use
Okay.
at your
Right.
own risk.
so after that, then it was kind of a relaxing day. We decided to go to the Magic Kingdom, but we woke up on our own schedule, kind of went over there, and again, knew we had dinner with friends that night then. So I think we did, again, probably 4 hours or so in the park at the Magic Kingdom. Longest wait, by the way, was let me talk about this, because this was one bad thing that happened. Although, again, out of the whole thing, we had a great 3.5, 4 days there. Pirates of the Caribbean. So wanted to go on that, did not have a fast pass. And it was the day that a not so scary party was going on at night. Okay, you'll see why this becomes relevant in a second. So fast pass wait time was 30 minutes. I said, I haven't seen the switch over from
Ugh.
the market scene, which, by the way, I hate. I hate that they've changed it. But it's not even so much the whole thing, why they changed it or whatever. I think it's the execution of it and the whole
new scene is
seems
just dumb.
It
The
just
script is stupid.
yes,
Yeah.
more than
And
anything,
it doesn't fit with the rest of the ride script. really.
right. I think that's my biggest problem with it. I mean, honestly, I'm not a fan for changing any of the original attractions, but it can be done in a way that's positive, like Haunted Mansion has been a great example of that. They've really plussed that attraction on this coast, putting in the stairwells in the beginning, and there are other things throughout the ride that I like the bride in the attic, even that sort of stuff. And I like the Hatbox Ghost in California. I mean, very cool. But that seemed well thought out. This just did not seem that way. But let me put aside the commentary to talk about what I was really going to talk about is 30-minute wait, right? And then we get in there, and I typically hit the timer because I'm a little obsessive compulsive when we get in line. So I'm actually checking to see because I figured it'll be 25 minutes. It won't be 30 minutes. Well, 30 minutes rolls by. 35 minutes rolls by. 40 minutes rolls by.
Ooh.
45 minutes roll by.
What?
Wow.
As 50 minutes approaches, we are finally up to the cast member where the fast pass line and the regular line meet.
Yeah.
And, well, normally they don't merge. One side serves fast pass, one side serves the other. This one, though, however, the cast member instructed us, because it was a party night, they don't schedule the same number of cast members during the day because they know they're going to have to work at night. And so what had happened was, instead of having two sides open, we had one side open because of the availability of cast. And so the wait times, for whatever reason, I guess they I don't know how they normally do them, were not reflecting properly, and they were having to manually call in to have the wait times changed. And so by the time we got up there, it finally said 45, 50 minutes.
Oof.
So,
well, did you get to see Gunsmoke Pete?
Oh no!
No, that's once the party starts. There is now a live actor on the ride during the Halloween.
I got to see him. Go ahead, continue your story, and I'll tell you.
During the party?
Yes.
okay. So
Yeah, it's
anyway,
only during the
I mean, as far as the rest of the story, that is the story essentially. That we were told because of the way that they do staffing, and because of the way they wanted to equalize the hours, and they don't want to pay more in a given day, even because of the fact that they have a holiday party at night, that they cut hours during the day on attractions so that they can staff them at night. This is what I was told.
So this is all
And I
you
believe it.
standing there talking to the lady at the.
She was very, very nice, and she was very apologetic because I asked her, I said, hey, I'm just curious. So outside it says 30 minutes and we're at 50 right now. You know, is there something going on? You know, I was more expecting there's, malfunction on the ride or whatever. Uh-huh. And that was the answer that I got, which I thought was refreshingly honest. So anyway, longest wait of the day. Rest of the day, again, 20 minutes. Got to see the new Hall of Presidents. Recommend everyone go see it. The film is brand new. It looks gorgeous. I love the telling of the story now. I really feel like they did a really good job of bringing kind of the history of the nation together in the new film that I had no idea that they had done that. I knew they had redone it, and I knew it was closed for a while. I didn't know that the film actually had been changed out.
Yeah, I missed the ending of it where it's glory, glory, hallelujah. I missed that. That was always
the ending was kind of.
It just kind of peters out a little bit at the end.
You are correct on that. I'll give that to you. So I mean, generally, I like everything else I like, but that was lacking a little bit. But
it used to be like, at the end, it would be like, from Team America, yeah.
Yes,
but,
I know. I'm Canadian, and I used to leave that big, like the crashing of the cymbals and explosions and fireworks, and it was like, yeah! But no, it just kind of.
Now it's like, it's over. There you go.
There you go.
Golf clap, yes.
But for those who haven't gone for a while and just, because you figured I've seen it, done it, been there, whatever, there actually is some new stuff. So it's cool. And although I did notice they had a couple police officers inside, Disney security.
Yes, they do.
So to keep any craziness at bay. But everybody was very respectful, and it was a good show. I actually do
can't have
like
that
what
many
they do.
animatronics in one room and not expect one of them to go nuts. I've seen Westworld.
Yes, Westworld. Indeed.
That's what the security is there for. It's not for us.
That's right.
It's just too dangerous to have many hosts in one place.
They become self-aware.
It is possible.
They become aware.
So here's my roundup for the trip, because then we got out of there and then just kind of went out for dinner, came back again, chilled out at the resort. The other thing I forgot to tell you. So my wife at some point thought she lost her phone. So we search around. This is the morning of going to the Magic Kingdom. We search around the room, can't find it. Up and down, can't find it. Thought maybe we left it on a boat in downtown Disney or dropped it somewhere. She goes out looking for it. I'm still looking around the room. I give up. I go and file a claim online, for I've lost this, and, because you do that online now. Nothing. I look into buying an iPhone because I'm figuring, everything's backed up to the cloud. I'll just go down to Walmart. She's on Straight Talk. I'll buy a iPhone 6. We'll transfer the number, because I know how to do this stuff. And I'm like, no big deal, honey. $180 and the problem is solved at Walmart. Okay. So we go out to Walmart, we get a phone, we come back. Right before we were leaving, housekeeping was going to come in and do some stuff. We explained what we were doing. We were going to be out soon. We left. We came back. Housekeeping still hadn't been in the room. We get this knock on the door. Housekeeping. And she got a little tummy.
You need fresh towel?
So she comes to the door, housekeeping, and we're like, oh, you know what? Just come on in. We're just cleaning up. We're going to be out of here. I said, my wife lost her phone and I can't find the stupid phone, whatever. And we're just going to go on. We got her a new phone and blah, blah, blah. She's like, did you look around the bed? We're like, well, yeah. Of course we looked around the bed. We think we're morons, Yeah, we looked around the bed. We looked around the whole room. We looked at the cushions. We looked at everything. And she walks over. She goes, is this what you were looking for?
Where was it?
I'm like, oh my God. Well, there's a lamp on one of the nightstands, and I guess she put it over, and it was right behind the lamp, in between the lamp and the wall, and there must have been a space, and she found it in like 2 seconds, to which I promptly handed her a $20 bill and said, thank you very much.
That must be a common spot where the housekeeping finds phones all the time.
Legitimately, she was in the room 30 seconds and found the phone. We had searched for hours trying to
Well, now you have a bonus phone for backup.
Well, I took it back.
Oh.
Anyway, so the wrap up of the trip after that story was, as an adult, I got to tell you, I had a wonderful Disney vacation, and it revitalized my love for Disney doing the parks the way I did. And I'm not sure I'll ever go back to doing park hopper passes again. I liked just focusing on one park one day, and when we're done with that park, we're done with parks for the day. It's kind of the way like Papa Yaglenski used to do the vacations in 74, because we only have one park to choose from, right? So you go, you were never really that rushed because it'd be there the next day, and you just went and did stuff, and then you came back to the resort and you did the pool, and then at night maybe you'd go see Hoop-Dee-Doo or something, or you might go out for dinner somewhere, even off property. I think that's kind of the way we attacked the vacation, and it was remarkably stress-free.
Yeah, I try to avoid park hopping. We buy park hop. Well, I have an annual pass, but for my husband and kids, we buy park hoppers. But I never know if I'm actually getting my money's worth, because we will do like one day Magic Kingdom, one day Epcot, and then the park hopper only really ever gets used like on our last day, the last day of our trip. We're kind of like, okay, everybody, like, let's go do all the things that we never got a chance to do. Yeah, or go back to the things we want. So the last day is the crazy day. But the rest of the week, no, we don't park hop all that often either.
What we always do is we somehow end up at Epcot for food and drinks.
Every night.
No matter where we go. Yeah. So, but that's just a personal preference. That's where I want to be at night. So,
to that point,
park hop a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Well, is it just you doing it?
We kind of do also.
Yeah. When I've been with Justin and Dawn and the group, we've done that before. When I was there with my brother, we did it. Because what we do a lot of times is like go for the extra morning magic hour to whatever park that is, and then hop like an hour or two after regular park hours.
Well, see, that makes sense because the park tends to be a lot more crowded. But I will tell you, just from our perspective and from my wife's perspective, who was starting not to like Disney, it made it, again, enjoyable because we weren't trying to be everywhere at once. And the other thing was, too, not having kids with us this time. That meant that if we didn't hit the mountains or we didn't hit the big ride, we didn't care. It was more important to us. For like Gary, like we used downtown Disney area, reminded me a little bit of being over in the Epcot resort area, where there's a lot of nightlife and stuff. Yeah, did I just do it again?
Yes, you did.
It's going to take a while, Justin.
The voice of Justin will correct him.
Shit in my ways.
But I will say that honestly, you could walk to wherever you wanted to go. If you're having an adult beverage or whatever, I didn't have to worry about driving a car. Didn't have to even worry about finding a bus. I could just, stumble back to my resort or hop on some water transportation if I was.
That's kind of why I like the Crescent Lake Resort area there, Boardwalk and Beach and Yacht Club, so you can walk either into the back of Epcot or you can walk to the studios. It's a little bit longer walk, but that's also what we'll do a lot of park hopping too. It's just between those two parks, right? So it's more convenient.
But that's what I was saying. It's akin. I found Disney Springs akin to that experience over there because it was near a lot of stuff to do.
Well, John, I think what you're bringing up is kind of, I don't want to say it's antithesis, but it's kind of the flip side of all the planning, and it's perspective. I mean, you within just a different perspective of what you've been doing and kind of rationing up over and over and over the past decade. You keep adding on to it and getting the Gantt chart that you need to figure out what your day is. And, it's, I decided what I'm having for dinner 3 months ago, so now I have to have that for dinner tonight. And, we kind of get into that mindset and forget to enjoy the moment. And you just enjoyed the moment. You just went into it and just went with it. And that's important sometimes.
How crazy is that? Like, you're right. I mean, for 15 years, we've been doing it completely different. And so this time, my whole thing was I'm going to have a good time with my wife. And we're going to go down there. And it's more important that she has a good time than me doing anything. And quite frankly, I found out that I like doing it that way, too.
Yeah. I think what you've proven, though, is that it can still be done.
Yep. I think that's just it. Even with all the craziness and all the
John, doing things the way your wife wants to do it makes your life better.
Like there'll be a little something extra in your paycheck. Yeah.
Who would have ever dreamt that the wife would know how to do things?
So, John, you didn't mention.
All right, settle down there, all right?
Oh my. Hashtag. Oh my.
You didn't mention Flights of Roger Dean at all.
Flights of Roger.
What about Roger?
Who's Roger Dean?
Someone mentioned that it was a 240 weight for flight. 240.
Yeah, he mentioned it.
Roger Dean.
Oh, Flights of Roger Dean. Is that what you're calling Flights of Passage? So,
well, I mean,
that is
flying through yes covers, aren't you?
It pretty much.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm not making fun of it. I'm just saying what I
look up Roger Dean artwork, yes covers, or the legendary cover of Asia's first album, and also their other albums. Yeah, exactly. But no, so it's possible as an adult to have a good time at Disney and not feel stressed out about the whole thing, and not only that, but make your plans, quite frankly, while you were there.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you realize there may be a couple rides you're not able to get on, unless you
that's the trade-off.
Yeah, the one thing about like what we've been doing is with the fast passes, like I said, after we do our 3, then it's just kind of, booking them as you go along and what's available, which, I mean, you're doing the whole trip that way, but I'm just, with the flow, phasing the first 3 fast passes and then doing that. So
yeah, but it's not bad.
Well, and if you want to do whatever that ride you don't get the fast pass for, you still have that option. You just have to do it the hard way.
Well, that's the thing. It's the same logic that's been in place forever. That really, if you want to do an attraction, what do? You get there early in the morning, and you go straight to that ride, and you do it first.
Fast pass.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like in the Magic Kingdom, I can't think of any really one ride that I would do that for. I mean,
when I'm with
for a little bit.
With my kids, there's rides that I would do just because I know that if we don't do them and they don't get to do them, then they'll freak out. But
like, what would that be?
Like, the first thing they want to do all the time is go on Space Mountain. So that's like, I have to, like, well, we better, like, when are we going to Space Mountain? We got to do that. But when I just go, maybe I'll walk down Main Street and sit for a little while.
I mean, that's that perspective thing. I mean, those are 2 different trips. The priorities are
exactly.
You're not there for you with the kids,
right?
And I think all of us has probably learned that lesson the hard way after 5 trips, and then you're like, oh, if I just relax and let the kids kind of let me know what they want to do, instead of trying to force them to have fun.
You will have fun.
You just mentioned Space Mountain, and for the Halloween party, Space Mountain is a new experience with the lights completely off.
Right. Oh.
That ride jumps you around a lot as it is, but at least with the lights, normally you can kind of feel where you're going. With the lights off, wow. I needed a back adjustment after that, because it really throws you around because you don't expect where you're going anymore. No matter how many times you've ridden it, you forget where the turns are.
Yeah, every year, anything that has a track and a hill gets harder to ride anyway. So
This is true. And my wife too was having back pain or something during that, so we just didn't bother with like anything that was going to jerk you around. So Space Mountain would not have been on. But I think Stephanie brought up a point on Facebook that's kind of the way I approach it: rope drop, then fill in the blanks from there. You know, so I mean that's one way to do it, and then get your fast passes because you can swap them out as you need to, and you know what? Don't forget to enjoy the rest of the things that are there. I mean, whether it be the restaurants or the shopping, take time to look through a couple cool gift shops or whatever. Just browse a little bit.
Do the thing that you normally wouldn't do. Like, I'm going to stand here and wait and ride the little fire truck to the front of Main Street.
Exactly. Perfect example.
Stuff that like your kids would be like, no, let's just go to the rides. But no, I'm going to stand here and wait for the little trolley to take me.
Or go have your beard trimmed in the barber shop, or your haircut.
I need to trim my beard, John.
Or get a shave. No,
I'm jumping coasts here, but one thing I did for the first time at California Adventure was I actually watched all of the entertainment there in front of Carthay Circle. The sort of jazz group that comes up, and then Mickey's show he does with the trolley. I'd kind of always seen them like in passing and maybe watched like 30 seconds of it, but those are both really good shows that they do just right there multiple times a day.
There is a lot of good entertainment. Yeah. Yeah, all around. I mean, the Streetmosphere players, wherever, in like the studios and stuff. I don't take enough time. There's funny stuff going on. The comedy's fantastic.
I think at the studios, they actually took them away. Didn't they just discontinue them?
I think
they cut a couple of the characters, but I think they're still there.
I mean, that's a good point.
Less citizen.
I mean, there's so much that you run past. All the time. You just you're like half aware of it as you run past it, or it's always next time you'll get into it.
So the theme of this podcast is stop and smell the roses.
The secret of life is enjoying the passage of time.
Stop and smell the churros.
Stop and smell. Yeah.
No cherry churro.
I think that's a podcast title.
Perfect.
Stop and smell the churros.
Yeah,
that's a good one. No, it did, and it really did teach me something. And we decided, you know what? Actually, we're going to try and go back and do similar stuff like that, and hopefully we'll get lucky in the times that we choose again. But even if we don't, we know that the resort's got some decent dining, a pool, a hot tub. Yeah. There's lots of good places to go in and around the resort and Orlando in general.
But if you are going to stop and smell the churros, you better bring a little more money, because they're now...
I smell a segue coming.
Yep.
They're now...
Segue queen.
No, wait.
Do we want to do Prices Right for churros?
Yes.
Yeah.
Segue queen.
The price of a churro used to be $4.50. Gary O'Brien.
Okay.
What price?
Hold on, let me get my
churros?
How much would you pay for a churro?
All right.
Do you want me to tell you based on the link that's been posted, so I can just go straight to the boards and tell you exactly?
No, don't.
No, do not do that.
Forget the knowledge you already have.
What would you pay
for
a churro?
Roughly.
And what was it? What was it originally? One more time.
$4.50.
It was $4.50.
So there's probably about 2 grams of oil per plus the flour.
All right. Analytics. Make it.
Carry the one.
Cast member time.
Make a spreadsheet.
43.25.
43.25. That's a great.
You're correct, sir.
That's exactly what they cost. Good guessing. Wow. No, okay. John? What would you pay for a churro?
$5.50.
Oh Lordy, Justin, did you cheat? What would
$1?
$1 without going over. Churros.
$347.12.
Jason obviously.
Who's good with math?
Yeah, I posted it. So.
You're a good math guy. I want you to be able to say, because I'm horrible with math, I want you to be able to tell me when I give this price.
What the percent of
that price is like up 250% or whatever it is. Okay, ready?
Okay.
The price of churros is gone from $4.50. Oh, Jen says $4. No, Jen would pay less.
It did not.
The price did not go down.
Oh, Jen. That is a good point. We just said it changed. We didn't say which direction.
Yeah. No, they're not on sale.
Yeah, they went
Churros
up.
are now $6.25.
Yep.
No.
So,
I think that was the closest.
yeah. That's an
Wait,
increase.
do I have to put my seatbelt on? What's going on?
It does
I like
sound
that
like the stewardess light going off. Bing. Okay.
No, that's
So, okay, now let's play.
sliding the card into the slot, Gary. Like, there you go, like that. That's what.
Okay. What would you pay for a bottle of Coke or Sprite? Like
That's
A bottle.
a bottle of soda. They were
$3.95.
No, they were $4. What are they now?
Ah, crap.
I wouldn't pay anything for soda because I don't drink soda. So they're Disney.
So they were.
Okay, I would buy a soda.
We'll
What
get
do
to water in a minute.
Okay. So it must be $5 now.
Gary? I know.
I'm
Jim-
gonna go with $5.25.
Gary? Bottle of Coke.
I'm still stuck in 1975, so it's a quarter. So, and it's, comes out of one of those.
nickel, and you crack the lid off.
Comes out of a soda fountain.
Bottled sodas are up 50 cents. They're now $4.50. All right. What would
Okay.
you pay for
That's not as bad as the churros.
No, it's not as bad as churros. Bottled water, bottle of Dasani. They used to be $3. What do you think they are now? It's more. It's not.
$3.75.
What is
$3.50.
hydration worth?
Ding! I'll tell you. John is right. It's $3.50.
All right.
Okay, Mickey pretzels.
Glorified tap.
A Mickey
Mickey
pretzel.
pretzels.
They used to be $6. What are they now?
Are they the same
$9.
size?
Pardon?
$6.50.
Allegedly, yes.
Same size, yeah. No sauce included.
Right.
$6.50. Gary.
$6 to $6.50. Gary, what do you say?
Everything's been like 50-cent increases, but except for
That's why I was going there, except for the
were
churros.
off. No, everything. Yeah, no, I'm trying. It's like an algorithm now that I can't figure out. I'm so confused. I have an English degree.
The new price of Mickey pretzels are up to $7.
No.
Oh, it was $1.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's now like the most expensive single item Disney snack, I guess, is a Mickey pretzel.
The churros had a bigger increase, though.
Yes, that is true.
They did.
Yeah.
Last one, ice cream novelties. They started at $5. What are they up to? Like a Mickey bar or whatever. Oh, there's the answer. Marcy Shanlin got it. $5.75 for a
Cheating.
Mickey bar. Yum. So bring a few extra quarters if you like the ice cream, boy, oh boy. Does that include tax, or is taxes included in those?
I think tax is included in those
Okay,
prices.
good. Phew, that's...
It better be.
I don't know if I can handle another 8%.
Wow.
Well, did
So, yeah,
anyone see the thing I put about the on the cruise, how to make a Mickey bars be cost effective?
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to find it.
So they-
Explain that for
They
us,
had a
Justin.
thing,
Or?
I'll
Yes,
explain it.
I'm
They had
trying
a
to
thing
find
on- Let them
Okay,
find
here
it.
we go.
They had a thing on
So,
the cruise where...
So on a cruise, it's not technically on the menu, but you can get a Mickey bar for dessert. And so since they are now $5.75, if you have a party of 2 paying cash for an inside stateroom, you can recoup the cost of your cruise by eating 62.5 Mickey bars per day.
That's it.
And a family of 4, you get a bargain. It would be 52.33 bars per person per day. So you're good.
Because you can get them for free with your room service. Is that the thing?
Yes, you can get them room service.
Yeah.
You can get them at the dining rooms. So, see,
That's
so there's a way to get even.
As a type 1 diabetic, what I would pay for an insulin, it'd be like $1,000 in insulin there. So
Gary wants
Do you
to
know they
die.
have sugar-free Mickey bars?
Do they have sugar-free Mickey bars?
Yes, when we were at the DVC Hollywood Studios event, they were actually giving out sugar-free ones, but they ran out of them in about 5 minutes. So they probably had one box.
well,
But
yeah,
they do make
diabetic. They don't tell you how many carbs are in it, so it's
Because that gets converted to sugar, right? Eventually.
There's no carbs and calories in Disney. Don't worry about it.
well when you're on an insulin pump, there are. So
All right. Well, if Gary
not to make it weird, but yeah.
if Gary wants to go out
Too late.
on a big, like just go big or go home, there's a new Mickey's 90th birthday cupcake. And there's pictures of it on Intercot that Jason put up. Oh my gosh, this thing is redonkulous. It's available November 16th.
Carolyn, on what site was that?
Intercot.com. Have you heard of it? There's
Yes, I heard they have some discussion boards on there. Everyone should go check them out.
So November 16th to the 18th at Contempo Cafe at Disney's Contemporary Resort. It's the only place you can get these. It is a handheld birthday celebration with red velvet cake, chocolate buttercream filling, and cream cheese buttercream frosting topped with white chocolate balloons and a miniature white chocolate birthday cake. So there's a birthday cake on top of your cake. That's cute. It is cute, but it'll kill you, Gary. Don't touch it.
Yeah.
Well, did you see that picture I put up of the sundae at the plaza? The milkshake, rather, with the cupcakes?
Oh, really?
Yes.
That was insanity.
Yeah, I think someone said it looked disgusting.
Yeah, that was only for September. They had a happy on birthday milkshake.
All that
Yes.
stuff makes me thirsty. Like, you just end up eating all that cake and, like, I need water.
As just for a tip for my fellow diabetics, MyFitnessPal does actually have the carb counts of most of the food that you're going to find. So 31 carbs in a Mickey bar. So
It's that a
it's actually
lot?
not bad. It's not a bad. No, for a sweet snack, that's not bad. You just got to plan for it. I mean, I'm type 1. I'm on an insulin pump. I can plan for these things.
You just give yourself an extra.
Well, no, it's the way the insulin pump works. You know, you put the carbs in for what you're going to eat, and you plan ahead, and then that's how it works. So,
And then
Alright.
adjust your levels from there.
Yep. If you're on the one I'm on, yes, it will adjust.
Wow.
And try and keep you in range. So.
Well, speaking of food, sorry, Jason, I can I'll
Keep
throw you
going.
the.
She's on a roll tonight.
No, I'm all in the
Here,
food.
we'll just put her on the. I'm just going to put Carolyn on the solo screen so she
The
can talk. to you.
delicate flow.
There you go.
It's the Carolyn
You're full
show.
screen now, Carolyn.
Hi, world. Okay,
Dreaming
so
in full screen.
wider. Before you go under the sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid in Fantasyland, why not head on over to Prince Eric's Village Market for some sweet Thai chili shrimp? No, thank you. They'll
Like Ariel's friends.
I feel a little applause in there. You know, that is a very good point. Several people did point that out. It's a little weird to serve seafood at Prince Eric's Village. It puts a different spin on the end of the story there.
Well, I mean, there was a deranged seafood chef throughout the entire movie, so.
That's true. Trying to kill Sebastian. Okay, so it's a new dish. It's tossed in chili mayo and consists of vegetable slaw, ginger vinaigrette, poached shrimp with salt and lemon, and black sesame seeds. Maybe you're into that. I'm not.
We do have our pickiest eater reading off the
That's right. That's
food
I'm
news.
hungry, but not that. I don't think I'd eat that on Survivor.
So tell us about
Don't you just survive on mac and cheese and chicken nuggets, pretty much?
Yeah, that's pretty much. I drink a lot of Coca-Cola products, so I always say that if I get a cut, maple syrup oozes out of my veins. I'm mostly made out of high fructose corn syrup.
Did I say it right?
Justin, please.
We'll get there in a minute, Justin.
All right, so if you are hankering for a handheld snack, Liberty Square Market has a couple new skewers. Okay, I would eat this. Try the chicken skewer marinated with a spicy sweet sauce, or chow down on the candied bacon skewer. I'd eat those. That's okay.
Okay, so
Where is this?
It's
At Liberty Square Market.
It's
fancy food on a stick.
It is. It's just
What's
two
Liberty
sticks on
Square Market?
Isn't that the one that's right facing the castle?
By the Hall of Presidents?
Yeah, like on that corner. And
Isn't that-
across from it
well,
is the
there's-
Christmas shop.
Is
Isn't
it,
that-
is it the
Sleepy Hollow.
marketplace? Just like the outdoor
Yeah, there's
area?
Sleepy Hollow, and then there's the marketplace. Sleepy Hollow is the
Okay.
building. Marketplace is, I think, just like a little market with a canopy.
I don't know.
Okay,
It's out
that's
there.
what I was thinking too. So.
So yeah, those are a couple other snacks. If you think you want to try something that I don't think I would eat the shrimp thing, but maybe you're into it.
But something more up your alley, Carolyn, being a Canadian.
Oh,
Epcot at I can't even pronounce that name.
Le Cellier.
Le Cellier. They have introduced 2 new types of poutine.
Okay, I would eat that.
So they got 2 gourmet types. Didn't have the thing pulled up here.
Bringing
That's like
out
gourmet.
the gourmet.
Gourmet, yeah. So the one is a beef brisket Benedict poutine. So it's topped with Canadian cheddar, Montreal smoked biscuit, sauce Charon, and a 62-degree poached
Is
egg.
that Gary Sharon or just
It is. No, it's my churros.
That's
I think
awful.
it was but it's not your Sharon, it's my Sharona. I do. Does anyone know what a 62-degree poached egg is?
It's
So
a
that's
very
supposed to be-
specific temperature.
That's
That's 62
I mean, like,
supposed to
it's
be
1
the
degree
perfect.
above a 61-degree poached egg, but
No, that's supposed to be the degrees of the perfect poached egg.
is it?
is
don't
it
know.
really
think so.
61 degrees?
Yeah,
62.
62.
61 is just goat.
62?
I don't know.
Evidently, I don't know.
I've heard of that before. I don't know.
I'm
I'm not a chef.
One who
I
eats a lot
throw
of
some
poached
chicken
eggs.
nuggets.
We're
in
not
the-
fancy like that.
Not a fancy
So
one.
the other is a beef bourguignon. I think it's pronounced poutine.
Bourguignon.
Bourguignon.
Yeah.
I'll let Carolyn read the rest of this one.
Beef
Although I can't say the word truffle.
bourguignon poutine, which is topped with Gruyere cheese. I don't know how you say that cheese.
I think it's Gruyere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheese. Truffle, which is like mushroom sauce, isn't it? Isn't truffle a type of mushroom?
Truffle is a type of very expensive fungus. That's correct.
Yeah. And then garlic aioli. So here's a bowl of fungus. Yum!
Aioli is essentially mayonnaise, but they try and tell you it's not.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
It's
It's a
spread.
fancy mayonnaise. We have deconstructed their dish. Yeah, food.
Perfect.
Joke.
You can make it at
And
home.
then you could also get it with French bread,
French.
France?
fries,
Yes.
and to drink.
And a glass of Merlot.
Merlot. Nice red Merlot.
I don't think that's said right.
These 2 dishes are available all day, and they make a great midday meal.
But isn't the point, of poutine, it's just a simple thing?
It's fries, cheese curds, not just regular cheese. So that's
Right.
a little bit different. They're talking about
Gravy. Like there's a gravy. It's a very simple.
it is. Sometimes you can get they'll add like little bits of green onions and stuff on top, but usually it's just fries, then the cheese curds, and then
Gravy?
you throw the gravy on
Curds.
top, and that melts the cheese.
And you can
Didn't you
put it
guys
in your
used to
purse
call
and walk
that
around with it
disco
all night.
fries? John, didn't you call it disco fries?
We just call it gravy fries. We didn't put the curds on top of it, but we used to have gravy fries all
Yeah,
the time.
fries and gravy, yeah.
Well, now with many trends, it's been co-opted and it's being varied and lots of twists. And then everyone will be tired of it in about 6 months and you'll never see it again at Disney. So,
Yeah, pretty much. Speaking of other food things, there are rumors among the cast, not confirmed, but Pizza Rizzo is going to be closed for 6 months. Not
that
a
is confirmed,
refurbishment.
by the way.
Yeah, it's okay. It is confirmed.
The
it's not a
potential use is not confirmed.
Okay. So that's weird because it is not a refurb. So they are doing something completely different with that space, which is crazy because Pizza Rizzo is not that old of a place.
Right.
And the rumor John's got here that it might be to move the launch bay there.
So wait, let me understand this. There's something closing at the studios.
Right.
Yes. Again.
Surprise!
They don't know exactly when it's going to open.
So
6 months.
So that's really off-brand for them.
Right. It wasn't announced it'll close October 27th and reopen spring 2019. The public calendars, which are out, which you can get to, show the restaurant still closed through March 2019, through the end of that. And then what John shared right before we started this podcast is that the reason why it may be closing would be to become a temporary home for the Star Wars launch bay, is the rumor.
Temporary.
I guess with the rejiggering of things and,
It's so
related
weird.
to-
That Star Wars land is going to be a little bit here, there, and everywhere. The current Star Tours is there, but then you walk, and now you're not in Star Wars land, and now you're back in Star Wars land, but then over near Muppets, there's going to be a launch bay.
Sure, yeah, it's like the continuity of the prequels. That's fine.
Exactly.
Ooh, Star Wars burn.
Nerd burn.
Oh wow, that was a
That was
really,
a large. That was a big clap. But then did I read
Oh my God,
somewhere,
that's exciting.
Jason, you would know, did they say that the Path of the Jedi thing is going away as well, or is that still going to be around?
Yeah, that was the other thing we just put up on the boards right before we started. So there's several, I guess they're officially called operational changes at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So one of them was Pizza Rizzo, which we just mentioned, and then Path of the Jedi, which is currently in, I guess it's the ABC Theater as it's called, will go seasonal operation, starting with a closure on October 14th. So that will be closed and will only reopen during peak crowd periods. Although what those first peak crowd periods aren't reported, one could assume they'll be near Christmas probably. Be the first time that would reopen. That's also where I think what Sounds Dangerous was. That went on seasonal for quite some time, and of course the Monster Sound Show was the original thing there.
Yeah, years ago.
That's never really a attraction they plussed when they replaced it. The other change is that Muppet Vision will be having reduced hours starting also on the now infamous October 14th. So it'll be operating 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Sounds like, I guess, regardless of park hours.
Cool. What are the discounts?
I'm going to break ground here and say they really need to update that.
An extra 200%.
Very nice.
Speaking of park hours, you've got here
She's
the
on a
Magic.
roll.
I'm on a roll, guys. Keep up. Magic Kingdom Park is set to double the number of attractions for early morning magic. What's that about?
From 2 to 4.
And explain again. Early morning magic is where you pay $79,
But you get breakfast.
$79 for extra morning magic hours, basically, but you're paying for it regardless of what day. Like it's not the day that the hotel guests do. You're paying for it. Does that make sense? I'm not making sense.
Right.
Actually, is that the one you get breakfast with, or did they discontinue that one?
It's a ticketed event. It's $79, as you mentioned, for adults, $69 for children, and includes breakfast at Cosmic Rays.
So that's going to chew up part of your morning hours because you're sitting there eating breakfast.
Now, it is kind of a set menu. It's cheese and cured meat. I said cheese and curds. Scrambled eggs, breakfast potatoes as opposed to lunch or dinner potatoes, pancakes, and more. They only serve breakfast from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., and the attractions are open exclusively from 7:45 a.m. to 9 a.m.
So you get an hour and 15 minutes to ride the attractions.
Yes.
And then you could go to breakfast because breakfast goes till 10.
Correct.
Can we go back to
$79?
Yes, for $79. Yes. Cheese and cured meats.
That's a wide variety of possibilities, but that's just a really
It
odd.
is.
Salami.
I guess that's for the Europeans. Assuming that's more like the European breakfast for European guests. So they have options.
Is that $79 plus tax?
Does not say on the.
Okay, let's pretend. Let's play pretend now. Pretend time. My kids are over the ages of 10. They are considered adult ticket holders now.
Right.
Even though they're 10 and 13 years old. So I'm looking at paying for my family of 4 times $79, so I can get a breakfast and an hour and 15 minutes to ride rides that are going to be open regardless the rest of the day. Is that what I'm doing?
Yep.
Essentially close to $400. Do you need regular park admission for that day as well? Or can I just go to the $79 thing and then leave?
That's a very good question. Nope, regular theme park admission is also required.
So an extra $400
Yes.
to do things that I'm allowed to do the rest of the day for my regular park ticket.
With cured meat.
But I don't get the
Cured
cured
meat.
meat. So there's that. I don't get the $79 bonus breakfast. All right. I'm just saying.
It is a little. Yeah, I think that's one of their harder value proposition sales they have. It is starting December 2nd when they're doubling the attractions and pushing this. So I am wondering if this is targeted more towards people visiting during the extremely busy Christmas time weeks. Because some of the attractions they're now advertising that are returning are Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. And then the new attractions are things like Princess Fairy Tale Hall and It's a Small World and Mad Tea Party and Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid. Not exactly things that one would pay probably that amount of money for exclusive access to. Peter Pan, I think, is included, which always has inexplicably long wait times. But that one's a little weird because I think it's just Fantasyland attractions.
Yeah.
If you have younger kids who that's all they're gonna do, maybe. But it's an hour and 15 minutes. It's not like
it's not 3 hours. It's not.
Yeah, the Disney after hours
it's
seems to be
Disneyland, but yet breakfast is in tomorrow.
Yeah, right on the edge there.
Right.
So you got that going for you.
Yes.
Stephanie, you just commented about that. Yes, I do have a blanket on me, and I'm wearing like a giant sweater and a tank top and a t-shirt, but I am perennially cold. It is not that cold out. It's probably outside about 75 to 80 degrees here in Canada, believe it or not, right now. But I am just always cold, so I will wear.
Southern Canada.
Yeah,
Say that's not what it's like in all of Canada.
Not in all of Canada, no. I'm in Southern Ontario. But yes, it is not cold out. I'm just always cold. So she's telling me that it's 80 degrees 2 miles from the Magic Kingdom. I would rather be in your 80 degrees than my 80 degrees.
It's currently 40 degrees in Nipigon.
We're doing weather talk a little bit later, folks.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Yeah, that's a little weird. The order.
Let's hope that 80 degrees calms down for Ron Icott.
Yeah, really.
That's right, Justin. Look at him taking over the flow of the show.
Right, the delicate flow has just been passed.
So,
what about this magical run I got?
You guys,
Justin?
it's less than a
From
month.
November 1st to November 4th is Disney's Wine and Dine Half Marathon Weekend.
Right.
And most of the podcast people and people familiar from the site will be down there for Run ICOT.
Podcast,
And also
podcast
John and
subsidiaries.
Jason's birthday.
Oh yeah, it is our birthday too. So there is that.
Yes.
But yes, we will be down there. Some of us are running. Some of us are doing other things. Some of us are cheering. So it's going to be a very fun-filled, exciting weekend.
Now, did you sort out where
Justin
everybody
will be
is meeting
fine.
for cheering, Justin? Because I know we were talking about that, and I know we were waiting for the maps to come out of the courses so we could figure out where everyone would be standing to cheer. Did we figure that out?
Kind of yes and kind of no. The course maps are they're a little different than I anticipated them being. Well, more or less the 10K is different than I thought it was going to be. The 10K seems to be just basically doing a loop around Epcot. I'm sorry, it starts in the Magic Kingdom. Well, sorry, let's go back to the 5K.
Okay.
So the 5K for this one is at... What was that?
I just hit the reverse.
Now we've got
Now we're back.
Scanning.
Just go, Justin. Just go, man.
Justin's like, what? He's
What's
looking at me
happening?
like, Go ahead, Justin. He's saying he can't hear. Now he can't
no.
hear.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yes.
can hear you just
Yes.
fine.
Okay, all right. It came back. Wow, that was just very bizarre. Okay, so starting with the
being
5K, the 5K on Friday morning. Yes. So it all starts Thursday with the expo. I'm not sure the exact hours of that off the top of my head. I don't have it right in front of me.
I think it
But,
opens at 10 o'clock.
Yes, 10, I think, till 7. I think it's both days, or all 3 days, I guess, is for packet pickup and race material and all that stuff. So they released the official courses the other day, and the 5K, which is the Disney's Fall Feast 5K, runs starts in the Animal Kingdom parking lot, runs through the parking lot, around the Animal Kingdom, and then back out ends in the parking lot. So we don't really have a set point for that yet, but I would figure you could probably, if I did it was the Jingle Jungle 5K a few years back, you could actually probably set up in the parking lot to cheer as the runners go, and then as they go along, once they all go, then you can go towards the finish line. I believe that's possible to get over there, if I remember correctly. So that's the 5K day on Friday. The 10K, which is on Saturday, starts at the Magic Kingdom parking lot, comes down, I forget what, is it World Drive?
Yep.
Whatever. And then goes into Epcot and does a whole loop around Epcot. Now, normally in the past, it has gone over either Boardwalk or Beach and Yacht Club, but this year apparently it doesn't. So,
No, we're mostly running on like the highways. Not really.
Yeah, it's basically out of the 6.2 miles, I think 5.75 of it is highway. I'm being facetious, but anyway. So I was thinking that if it's possible to get to where the buses come into Epcot and the bus stop is there, we set up over there. Because that looks like, if you look at the map, which those of you can look it up on your own, it looks like it goes right past there. So on years past, when we did marathon weekend, when we took on the half marathon day, we would cheer at Magic Kingdom and then hop on the monorail and go over to Epcot. That's similar to the spot where we would go. So those of you who are familiar with that. And then from there, it's pretty much, I think from there, you'll be able to get over to the finish line to see, if you want to see your runners finish. Because my wife will be doing that one. Dawn will be doing that one. And then Sunday, we have the half marathon, which John and I are both running. And he seems to have this thing that I'm determined to beat his time.
He's working on it.
I've just been training hard. It's nothing with you. I just want to finish and not die.
I think he's going to win.
Well, it's not a competition in my eyes.
No,
in your eyes, it could be, but in my
there's
eyes,
no competition. It's all about finishing, right?
John, you're turning 30.
Oh yeah, that's all I care about is finishing.
What's that?
This is my first half marathon I'm attempting. So I just did a 10-mile race this past weekend in the Bronx, and I felt pretty good at it. So I think I should be okay. And that one starts in the Magic Kingdom parking lot again, then comes down, goes to Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, then goes along that path from Hollywood Studios to the boardwalk into International Gateway and then around Epcot. So I believe the best spot for that would be at the Big River Grill, where we normally would set up for for marathon weekend for the 10K. That appears to be the best spot, I think, according to the map. I mean,
So
I'm open to any suggestions, and we can figure it all out.
On the boards, Justin, do we have this all written out, or do you want me to make like maps or anything and stick them up there?
If you want to make maps, by all, feel free. I haven't put any of this up. I've been a little busy lately, but
okay.
I know it's
I
no
will
excuse.
handle
Sorry.
that sometime tonight. I will get on that and put something up on the board so everybody that's watching can sort of have a visual reference of all the places we're talking about.
So Justin, you are literally going to beat John on his 35th birthday. On the day of his 35th birthday.
Did you just say I was 35?
Sure.
Wow.
Well, if we're coming close to the end, I can trip and let him finish ahead of me, just because that's the kind of guy.
Hey, you guys don't see this on your end because it's on the Skype side of things. But everybody say hi to Michael Montanez. Hello, Michael.
Michael!
Hello,
Hi, everybody.
Oh my goodness! Look at
He
this.
looks fabulous.
I know. Sorry.
He does.
If I don't know. Can I hold on? You know what? I can do this. Hold on. Let me see if I can. I'm working on it. Wait, where's my mic? Hold on.
This all breaks apart.
Hey, Michael.
I was going to try to turn on a light, but
There
it's
they
not
are.
working.
Look, smile, Michael. Look at the camera. There we go. So, because of the way VLive works, we can only fit 4 people on camera at a time, which means that we've figured out a way to jigger it so that we can get a couple additional people in via the Skype, so they see me, but you don't see them. Sorry. But
Well, that sounds really fun.
yeah, I know. So yeah, you get to see me.
Well, it's nice to hear all your voices. I've missed you. It's been so long.
I
We have
know.
missed you, Michael.
Were you at
ages.
Disneyland today or yesterday or something?
I did. I am literally out of the car. Just arrived from Disneyland this week since Thursday.
Okay,
Nice.
so I got to know because I'm going to be there. I think Sunday. We're just missing each other.
Again.
I know. Again, this has happened more times than I can count. I think at this point, but I'll be out there Sunday for Adobe Max. So I was thinking of doing a half day over. So what should I do? What do you think?
You totally should. It was really, really fun. It was really busy because it was Gay Days plus Columbus Day, and everyone in California has off. So there was about 800,000 people there.
Right.
But I have an annual pass, so I don't ever feel compelled to do anything. Well, I never feel compelled to do anything ever anyway. But I had a good time. I only had a couple of people with me. Got to hang out with Melanie and rode everything I wanted to ride. You'll have time to go and do all the Pixar stuff because that's, like the Incredicoaster is amazing.
So you feel if I was to do one park, then that would be the park to do?
California Adventure, because there's like the whole pier, and there's a bunch of new types of churros to try with dipping sauce, real dipping sauce.
You had me at churro.
There it is. Did you get to do Monsters After Dark?
What's that?
What is that?
Guardians of the Galaxy at 5 p.m.
right.
turns into Monsters After Dark.
I did not do it this year, but I did do it last year. So it's awesome. But let me just tell you a little fun. So the East Coast the Fast Pass system was out, right? Was that out for you guys? Did you hear any reports about this?
Yeah.
Like my Disney experience on
I heard
Saturday?
it was down at some point. Yeah. Or something that was messed up.
Well, let me just tell you, Max Pass and the whole Disney site were down.
Oof.
On Saturday, and it was a nightmare. Like, people were up in arms because you pay for it there. It's like $10, right? So,
well worth the money.
Yeah, it is well worth the money, but let me tell you, when it doesn't work and you can't order food, and like people were going insane, like the lines were an hour and a half long. It was just like Disneyland used to be before everyone relied on fast passes.
Oof.
It was I don't know. I still had fun because we also got drunk, so there's that.
Oh well,
That's a good thing.
So there's that. We got that going for us, which is nice.
Well, by the afternoon, like, what else are you supposed to do? Like, you go to the beer truck. I mean, that's just everyone knows that. We've talked about that enough.
It's true. Okay, so I think then it's settled. That's what I'll
California Adventure.
Yeah, and you can do. There's green apple churro. That was probably my favorite. The least favorite was the candy corn. It was horrible. Yeah,
it was green apple at Disneyland though.
Yeah, it's at Disneyland.
Yeah, pumpkins at California Adventure.
I don't remember what types were. Oh, California Adventure has a Halloween flavored, and there's just like two options. There's either purple or green, and I had purple, and it didn't really taste like Halloween to me. I don't know, like what does Halloween taste like? Pumpkin spice, but there was
pretty much.
It was good. There's a ton of really good food. I was actually really impressed with all of the Halloween offerings at both parks. I've never been to anywhere that was Disneyland oriented that had so many Halloween options. It was actually really cool. Yeah.
Is Bugs Land now closed?
No, we're still open.
Oh, it's still open?
No, Bugs Land's closed.
No, there are walls
up. I
up.
a picture that I meant to post, and it's the little construction walls are awesome, and it says Stark Industries on it. Yeah. I was totally excited.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a ton of construction, actually. It was pretty... Yeah. That part was pretty crappy because it's... like the painstaking back walkway between Cars Land and like where Guardians of the Galaxy is. It like saves your entire life so you don't have to walk around the whole park like you used to. Yeah, that's all closed again.
Yeah, that's closed.
So, So
I was there
2 years.
3 weeks ago, and they had just closed that, and people were very confused. They kept like trying to still figure out how to walk through there. It's like, no, there's a wall. You can't do that.
Yeah, it was pretty. That was not great, but and then Disneyland had a ton of construction too. I don't know what they were doing. I didn't. And Matterhorn's down again for like the millionth time in the 10 years that I've been going religiously.
It's so even if I went, that would be down. That's been like down half the time I end up going there. So.
I could blame you because you had a trip plan, therefore it immediately went down and construction walls are up.
The Splash Mountain open?
That's a nice way to go, John.
It is good.
It's good.
Splash
Thank
Mountain
you.
Open?
That's the wrong part.
Everything else was open.
Wrong part.
Oh,
yeah.
What rides were closed? Matterhorn.
Disney World.
Oh no! Actually, Splash was only open one day. It's closed now. It was open on Thursday morning. It was closed the rest of the time, so it must have just gone down. Oh, and also half World of Disney was still closed. So it was the smallest World of Disney in the world because they're remodeling the whole thing.
So the World of Disney and the one in Disney Springs. Also
Downtown Disney.
That would be Downtown Disney. We're original.
No, I'm talking about Disney Springs is half open as well at the same
maybe
time.
They're just remodeling it to look so they're the
I
same
wonder if
style.
they're going to be the same style.
The half that is remodeled is beautiful.
Yeah. Wow.
There was a queue to get into Downtown Disney on Saturday night. That was almost the entire length of, a queue to get into World of Disney. That was almost the length of the whole store. So I avoided it. I did not go. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
And they were checking everybody's bag as they walked out because I don't know,
shoplifting
if there was some crazy theft, but the alarm kept going off.
Yeah.
So they had a security guard there looking in everybody's bag. So you can imagine how happy people were because there was also a line to get out.
Was there a fast pass line to get out?
Yeah, basically there needed to be. No, because the system was down, so it was a fail.
So wait, was there a gift shop at the exit, or? of World of Disney?
Well, actually, funny enough, in the middle area between Disneyland and DCA, there is a World of Disney 2, which is just like 3 little kiosks that they put up that were selling T-shirts and stuff.
In the Esplanade?
Because World of Disney is tiny. You can't even.
No,
it is
further
tiny.
down.
Tiny.
Towards like Disneyland Hotel.
Interesting.
No, in the Esplanade.
Oh, in there?
In the Esplanade. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, just past La Brea. But on the when you're walking towards the park, past the La Brea restaurant, La Brea Sandwich Shop, or whatever it's called. Yeah, it was. I don't know. Maybe they planned that just because it was going to be a busy weekend, but it was, and people were just lined up there to buy stuff.
But of course they were, because why wouldn't you?
They always are.
Yeah.
They always are. So
Hey, at Disney Springs, do they have this new wall of T-shirts that's like 2 for $20 that looks like Uniqlo?
they have a Uniqlo store.
So inside the World of Disney, the half that was open, they have like this whole section now that's
I'll bet you it is.
with a picture of the T-shirt.
Yep.
And they're really cheap, horrible prints and cheap, horrible T-shirts. But they're I do blame you for that. They're 2 for $20. They were really cute prints,
Right.
really done cheap because it's 2 for $20.
Having just gone to Disney Springs,
$20 each if you buy 2. Let me change. That's not 2 for $20. That's like a dream price.
Yeah, well, I did go in the, what is it, Uniqlo? Is that how it's said?
Yeah, Uniqlo.
Okay, shirt or place, and they did have Disney shirts in there, which seemed
so it's
like
the
what you're
same
talking
setup they
about.
have, where they're cubicles, they're little cubes.
I wonder if they're being made by them for, who knows?
But you know what? I should have checked the tag because that would be really interesting.
That would be the tell. I'll tell you what they did have. They had a couple of really unique places in Disney Springs that were selling things that were definitely targeted at millennials and the whole Disney bounding thing. And like they had shirts that seemed to bring together characters and they represented the characters, but it wasn't overt what they were. And I had to explain to my wife, oh, that's supposed to be such and such, and then they'd have a dress and it looked like another character. And I can't remember, somebody pointed out what shop that was in. It's near.
You're cutting out. I don't know. Is it just me or can people hear him?
Yeah,
no, it's cutting out on me too.
It's Skype. It's the Skype connection probably. But the shop is down near the movie theaters. So,
well, they have a whole ton of construction. Like there's a new where Build-A-Bear and all that stuff was.
Yep.
In World of Disney, all of that stuff is gutted, and they're building a bunch of new stuff there. So who knows what they're going to put there? I would imagine they will do something.
Yeah.
It's the Ballast Point Brewery is one of the things going in there, I think.
Oh, right. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but I assume that it'll be something else with really expensive beer in it.
Really good San Diego brewery. Gary probably knows where that is.
Oh, yeah.
Ballast Point, yeah.
So I hate to do this, guys, but we're running up on our time schedule, even though we just got Michael
so you
join
can blame
us.
Traffic. I got here, it was raining. It's just stupid Seattle.
Is there
Seattle?
any?
I know. Well, this is the first time in a really, really, really long time. So I think people forgot. And then traffic was backed up forever. It took me a year to get home. So
Yeah, it happens.
Well, it never rains in
As they
Southern
say.
California, so.
Let's sing
But
it.
girl,
no,
don't,
it was like, honest
girl,
to God,
don't
it
they
was
warn you?
perfect weather. It was like 72 degrees, 73
pours,
degrees
man.
every day. Amazing.
It pours. So, are there any other quick, real quick things that we could?
2 quick updates. You did mention Disney Bounding. So there is a social media campaign starting. It is October, where's the date here? The 11th. So on October 11th, if you share a picture of yourself Disney bounding as your favorite Disney princess and hashtag it with hashtag Dream Big Princess, Disney donates $1 to the Girl Up campaign, which is a United Nations Foundation's program for supporting girls' leadership and empowerment. And then for some reason they say October 10th through November 20th, but I guess that's just for additional likes and shares. They will also donate $1 during that time period. So we've got some details on that up on the boards if you'd like to participate in that. And then also Disney Cruise Line, one last thing, as we sail off into the sunset, did announce its 2020 sailings. So one is they will have a home port in Orleans for the first time, I guess. So they'll do some cruises out of there.
Pardon me.
Looks like Western Caribbean cruises, a Bahamian cruise, and then also a single Panama Canal voyage. And then they are also, the other big news was making their long-awaited turn to Hawaii. I guess they had not been for several years.
Yes, I am booked.
Yep. Justin and Don are booked.
Yes,
so
thank you to Wendy from Your Magical Journeys.
There you go.
We
One
are
of our
booked
sponsors.
from Vancouver to Hawaii.
Right.
You know what, Justin? Vancouver's really, really close to Seattle. So I'm just saying, if I don't see you all, I might have to break up with
You're
you.
dead to me.
So I think it's only 2 cruises in 2020. So contact the folks at Magical Journeys, and I'm sure they'll help you with that.
YourMagicalJourneys.com.
Yep.
So, yeah, be sure and visit the folks over there. Is that it? Is that we?
Yep, that was it. That was everything on our list, plus some extra stuff.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks to the crew here, Michael, who just joined us, Justin, Carolyn, Gary, Jason, and of course, I am still John. Be sure and support our sponsors, Magical Journeys, as we mentioned, and also the official ticket center. Patrick and crew over there will hook you up, regardless of how confusing things may be. They'll make it easy for you for your next Walt Disney World vacation. So for everybody, on behalf of the crew here, have a good one. Bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
John said something about the sponsors people. I don't know. Sport them. They're nice. We couldn't hear any of that.
Yeah, we will.
I forgot this was the long version. We've been doing this for weeks
We're going to be
on the cell phones. Yeah. So, by the way, Amanda loved hearing you, Michael. So, the people are very happy.
She loves hearing me too. Thank you very much.
And Gary.
And me. Clearly,
there's a Gary in there.
Or what?
Missed the fine print.
Michael and I need our own spin-off show.
Indeed. It is. It's the long version. With the guitar solo.
I'm signing off because I can't hear anything. I love you guys.
Bye, Michael. Bye, Justin. Bye-bye. 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 Remind me to start the theme a little earlier next time, okay?
It's like the really long version, or
the LP album.
The end is coming. Get ready. Here we go. Big finish.
Bye.